Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Halloween, right? It's Halloween. Can't believe it. I have my fun little ghost kitty background on tonight. For those of you that will watch the video, you'll get to see that. I think it's super cute. Um, Hopefully you're out. If you're not joining us, you're out trick-or-treating. You're doing something super fun for Halloween. It's, of course, Monday night, 7 p.m. in Phoenix. So what are we here for? Insights with Alicia, my absolute favorite time of the week. Thank you all for joining in. And the reason we're here, right? Every week we gather to learn and connect. And I often say things and people want to know more about it. People like to hear from the scientific psychic, right? Us left brain empaths. So there's so many things that I have experienced that have transformed my life. And I love being able to share these insights to help everyone, not just my clients. When we get together, we talk about relationships, our behavior, life skills that have literally changed your life, and tools and ideas to support all of those kind of changes. And let's not forget about the animals. I talk about them too. I'm actually going to tell an animal story tonight. I am Alicia Sweezer, owner of Who Knew Healing. For those of you who do not know me, I am an intuitive life coach, animal consultant and communicator, psychic medium, and intuitive mentor. And I absolutely love helping animals and people. It is my passion, right? Okay, so where are we at? For those of you listening as a podcast on Spotify or Apple, welcome. And if you'd like to see the video version, please visit the YouTube channel under Alicia Sweezer, or even better, join us live Monday nights. I would absolutely love to have you. Those of you watching on Facebook, if you'd like to comment, please join us by the Zoom link because I can't see the comments on Facebook. And for those of you here with me in the Zoom, it is so great to see you. If you've got any comments, please pop them in the chat there. I would love to hear from you guys. Hopefully, like I said, you're having a great Halloween. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you got your favorite drink tonight. I just have water, right? Sad, I was kind of lazy. I need it though. I would tell you this is what the weather is like in Phoenix for people that do not like the cold. So it was actually still relatively warm here today. I think it got like high 70s. And I don't like the cold. So I have a long sleeve shirt on in a pair of shorts with slippers. So it's this weird time of year where you're hot, you're cold. So you wear different things, but it just cracked me up. I was walking around the house and I was like, what am I doing? I don't like the cold, and it's supposed to be like a high of 65 on Thursday. So I guess winter is officially here, which makes sense. It is Halloween, right? Alrighty, so what are we going to talk about tonight? I am super excited. How this came about is I was talking to a good friend a few weeks ago, and we got on this subject during our conversation. And I asked, how come people don't do this while the person is still alive? And I'm talking about the celebration of life event. And I'll tell you how we got on this subject later. It's an amazing story. So we discussed it a little bit, and I said, you know what? I'll probably talk about this on one of the Monday nights in the future. And well, here we are. And it's not lost on me that it's interesting that we're talking about life and death on Halloween. I did not plan that. I didn't even write this until Saturday. You know, you guys know how I do this. I wait for the inspiration, it comes, and then all the information comes through, and that's how I write it. If I sit down and try and write one of these things, it just does not work. And so that's how this came about. Now, here's the disclaimer. I know what I am going to be talking about tonight doesn't fit every situation. And I'm not saying that one process is better than any other. I think all of them serve a purpose. I am not talking about any religious beliefs here tonight. I am offering another perspective on this particular event. My intent is not to trigger anyone. And if you do get triggered, it offers you an opportunity to see what's in there for you that may not be serving you anymore. So, okay. So what is a celebration of life? I don't know how long this name has been around. I didn't do that level of research. In my experience, the celebration of life, right, is a party type event that happens after someone has passed. There will sometimes still be a funeral, other, processes, not the word I'm looking for, other type of events in addition to the celebration of life. And the celebration of life is where people share pictures and tell stories about the person who has transitioned. They share their experiences, their emotions, and they connect about the person they are grieving about. And it happens, like I said, after the person has died. And for me, my personal opinion is that funerals, etc., are for the people that are still here. The person who passed, right, the person who died, isn't an active participant. It's about everyone else's grief and loss. It looks like it's about the person who died, and they're the core reason for it. But beyond that, it ceases to be about them. It's the healing process that exists for everyone else still here on the planet. I understand not everyone will agree with this perspective, and that's great. There's no judgment, attachment in any of this. It's just another way to look at something. And for me, with some of these processes, there's an energetic separation that gets created. We're all energy, whether we're in the body or not. And for me, like I said, these are my personal beliefs, with a traditional type of funeral, this process, the separation comes from the perspective of those still in their body versus those outside of their body. And there's just an energetic separation that comes in that when we see it from those two worlds. It's a very human thing. And so I promise I'm going somewhere with this. I promise. So my question for tonight is, why do we wait? Why do we wait to celebrate and grieve till after the person is gone? And I understand that this does not work for every end of life situation. So I want you to all take a big deep breath and imagine with me. Close your eyes if it is safe to do so. You're at a celebration of life event, and the person who's going to be transitioning is there. They are the guest of honor. There are decorations and lights and colors everywhere. The energy of this place is amazing. There is a mix of emotions, and that is beautifully wonderful. You spend the evening sharing stories about the person, and they are there to enjoy it with you. That changes everything. Do you feel how different that is? Even if the person isn't able to communicate, etc., they're still there enjoying the connection. They feel the energy. So with the person being there, when you share your stories about the person, if they're able, they get to add their side of the story. They get to make people laugh, and everyone may get to know some things about them that they never shared before. Kind of like when you're an adult and you share some of your teenage stories with your mom. Sometimes those just slip out at a dinner and you're like, oh yeah, that one time I snuck out. That stuff just happens. It's kind of like that. And the amazing part is they get to tell their stories too. They get to tell all the people there how special they are to them. They get to have an opportunity to say all of the things that often go unsaid. We don't always get to do that. Not everybody makes it to the hospital or, some hospice before the transition. There's an experience that is created in this. There is so much healing that goes on in this process. There is so much love and joy that is shared. And even if there are things, it's so interesting because when I do mediumship sessions with people, it's not just about, finding out how the other person is, because usually us humans left behind want to make sure that, the person who's transitioned is okay. There's a lot of work that goes on. There's a lot of healing in the process of mediumship. I do a lot of facilitating between the person that has passed and the people that are still here. Whether it's old grievances, whether it's beliefs about each other, whether it's trauma or hurt feelings, grudges, all of that gets transitioned in a mediumship session. It's really one of the most beautiful things. So imagine though, if this happened while the person was still here. So doing a celebration of life while the person is still in the body offers that opportunity as well. It's not just for, all the fun things, because as we're talking about someone's entire life, those other things will pop up as well. And so here is a place to have that conversation in a room filled with people that love you. So it's just such an amazing healing and grieving process that I think could really change a lot of things. So imagine how different you might have felt if you had this experience with someone before they passed. And everyone has this amazing memory that they all get created together. They get to carry with them the rest of their lives. There is no separation here because everyone is involved. Can you feel how different that is? Can you feel how yummy and amazing that is? Can you feel how healing that is? Trust me, for the introvert part of me, something like this, like if it was my party, right? My celebration of life, I would absolutely want it because I would want to share it with all the people there. But there's part of me that would be like, ooh, the center of attention. All these people are here. And there's a lot of emotions, right? And so it's so healing though. There's so many opportunities in there for connection with everyone that's there. So to give you an example of what this can look like, I'm going to tell a story, and I'm going to do my best not to cry. Not going to lie. So some of you who have joined me on here before, I want to say, I don't know, sometime in September, like early September, I think I told the story about my friend Mary and her two little dogs who have since transitioned, Malcolm and Angus. But I told the story of how my friend Mary was supposed to be getting out and enjoying some nature. And Malcolm, one of her dogs, came to tell me that she hadn't. So because I'm a medium for people and animals, animals still visit me all the time. And these two boys, they come to visit me all the time and they crack me up. But Malcolm had been telling Mary, get out of the house. You need to be in some nature. And she wasn't listening. And so he came here to tell on her so that I would tell her to, have you made it out onto the nature trail yet? So it's the same dogs that I'm going to talk about tonight, because these guys, they're just the most amazing little creatures. So as I said at the beginning of this, right, I was on the phone talking to Mary when this subject came up. And I do have permission to tell the story. There may be less of a chance of crying because she's not actually on here tonight. She's usually here, but it is Halloween. So there may be less crying since she's not here, because if she was here, then I'd be feeling her and she'd be feeling me and all kinds of emotions, which would be beautifully, perfect as well. So as I said, Mary first came to me as an animal client with her two little dogs, Malcolm and Angus, who were getting up there in age. And I will tell you, I never had an animal session like this before. Mary and I were on the phone, because most animal sessions are done remotely, either Zoom or phone. And these two little dogs are so full of energy and joy and love. Now, usually these type of sessions are a little more solemn and very serious because we're discussing end of life situations, right? There's a lot of emotions involved. There's a lot of grief. There's some fear. Not with these two. Not with these two. They had us cracking up. And I kept apologizing to Mary because I was like, I know we're talking about serious stuff. And these two are just saying the funniest things. And she was like, I know, that's how they are. And I really had to practice as the facilitator to not get in the way and to just share the messages as they were coming through. And the truth is we laughed and we cried. It was the most beautiful thing. And here's what these two little dogs had to say. They wanted a celebration of life party while they were still here. They wanted to be a part of it. They, of course, wanted separate parties, because why would they make it easy on Mary? Angus wanted the fun, crazy party, and Malcolm was a little more distinguished, wanted a brunch. They even picked out the colors of their decorations and the other things that they wanted at their events. Now, these two little dogs, Mary is a huge music fan, and they are named after the brothers of the band AC/DC, Angus and Malcolm. They definitely live up to their names. So, like I said, they picked everything out. Brunch time, Angus was like, I want the party. He wanted red and black colors, and it was just hysterical. So now imagine if this translated to a human in your life. Imagine if they got to be part of this party planning. They got to pick the colors and what they wanted to wear. Imagine what that would be like for them or for you if this was your celebration of life event. How many times have we done this after the fact? How many times were we guessing and worrying that we were picking out what this person would have wanted, right? The colors or the food or any of that kind of stuff, all of those details that we can stress about. So these two dogs showed us humans that there is another way. It turned out that there was only one celebration of life event for these two, and they were okay sharing. Mary did a beautiful job of incorporating what both dogs wanted. No easy feat. It was an amazing thing, and I am fortunate to be a part of these three beings' lives. So I invite you to look at how you see this world and how you see death and how you would like to create this in your life if you so choose. Because I just see it as such a different opportunity to connect with everyone that's in our lives, and an opportunity for people that maybe we haven't seen in a long time, or people who can't get there, like sometimes there's a period of time, right? If someone happens to be sick or whatever the situation is, if we're planning it ahead of time, the people that normally might not be able to attend get the chance to. It just opens up so many more choices and so many more opportunities for connection and memories. That's the truth. Memories that you create with that person, because when you're sharing stories, they're there and you get to feel that. And that's not even an empath thing. That's just an energy thing, right? Every living creature feels energy. That's science. So that gets created with this. It's just such a different experience. So that is my different perspective on the celebration of life event. I hope that it made you think of some things. And if it's something that you choose to have in your life, I hope that it's now started the wheels turning so that when it does become that time, far, far off in the future, that you get to be the one creating it. If you want, like I said, all of these grieving processes that we do and end of life transitions, every single one out there has its purpose and there's a match for everyone. So that is all for this Monday evening. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. I had a great time. Happy Halloween, right? I can hear the kids outside trick-or-treating. If you are a costume person, I hope you had an amazing costume this year. I've seen a ton of them on Facebook. People are so creative. I'm not so much in the costume department. It's just not my thing. So hopefully you have had a wonderful Halloween weekend. I know there was tons of parties, and I hope you join me again next Monday. For those of you that want to share this video, for those people who couldn't attend and you want to share this with someone, it'll be loaded tonight under the YouTube channel, Alicia Sweezer. Subscribe so that you get notified when there is a new video. All of the links, as usual, are in the event listing. Sign up for my blog. And thank you, as always, to everyone who's donated to my Cosmic Tip Jar. It allows me to create more free things like this, and I get to practice receiving. And if anyone feels led to do so, links are in the event info, multiple options. Thank you so, so much. And as always, if anything I talked about tonight makes you want to learn more, reach out, book a session, schedule your free discovery call. Let's see what we can create or change together. Thank you all for joining. It was so great to see you again. I will see you next Monday. Have a fantastic Halloween. All right, everyone, have a good night.